My DoorDash people, your boy Simoto. I am back with a additional update. Come the tier program, as you can see by the thumbnail. Some information, and this is straight from the horse's mouth per DoorDash. I actually reached out to DoorDash to actually ask the question and figure out the differences with the program, where you're in a market with the program versus not in the program. How does that mix between the two? Because you can be in a program city or market area, and then the next city over, if you had another market that you drove in that doesn't have the program. So I wanted clarification on exactly how that ties in to the actual tier program if I'm driving in a regular ratings market, where Top Dasher is still like the normal rating system scale, whatever you want to call it. So when I called and asked them and talked to them about it, they let me know that it's all transferable in the sense. So say being that I'm in Los Angeles and I am within this program, if I am, or whatever my ratings were before the program, they continue in another market that does not have the program. So for instance, I was Top Dasher. So although I'm bouncing back and forth from platinum to gold in this program, as long as I still have the ratings and the scores or whatever it is to be within Top Dasher, that still applies in the other market. So it's just a requirement of 100 orders to hit in a market that does not have this tier program. You will continue to go back to Top Dasher outside of this program. So I don't care if you're in the platinum, silver, gold part of the tier system. If you drive in a market that doesn't have it, you directly go back to the Top Dasher system or whatever ratings you had. In that point, you're either Top Dasher or you're not. And you just go back to that. So just look at it like this program is not even here. This tier program is not even relevant. It's not even here. That's just what you go back to in another market. So she did clarify whatever orders you do in the other market adds and carries into the tier program. So let's say, for instance, I'm at 90 orders while I'm in this tier program and I need 100. And I leave this market. If I go and do 10 orders in a market that does not have the program, when I come back into this market, it's automatically going to push those orders into my tier level. So you don't have to worry about going outside to another market and those orders not count. So they will count when you come back in. So the loophole, and then, like I said, this is coming from the horse's mouth. The loophole about it is when you're in the platinum status, that's the only time that you can be part of the large order program, where you don't have to schedule, where you get all those prime benefits. You can still get those prime benefits going outside into the other market and not have to worry. Now, the unfortunate part is, depending on where that other market is, you will have to go and drive in that market to make it easier on you. So let's just say, for instance, now you have to schedule and there's no schedules available, because I did bounce back and forth to that, the advanced scheduling. Maybe there were slots that just weren't available, and you have up to 6 days that you can do that. And you can do it within the silver and the gold tier, but then there still has to be slots available. Just because it says you can schedule in advance doesn't mean that there's slots available. So they may all be taken. And since this program in the markets that require you to schedule below the platinum tier, these schedules are getting cleaned up. They're getting taken up and snatched up because people know that they may bounce between 100 and less. That will put them in an area where they will have to schedule. So even if they stay in the platinum tier, people are still scheduling just to be sure if they fall below 100, they'll have a schedule already laid out. Worst case scenario, and that would probably be your best bet. When you do carry over into the platinum tier, go ahead and continue to just still make a schedule, because the moment you cross under, and I hope I'm not being confusing in the sense, I know it's a lot of information, but the moment you go under 100 orders, that's when you go into that area where you have to schedule. And by that time, it's too late, because you're trying to schedule for that day or for the next day or for the next day. And you got people that have not been in the platinum status, and all they can do is schedule. So they have wiped out the schedule for that day and for the next 3 or 4 or 5 days, unless you get lucky. or unless it's that busy to where schedules don't matter and they need as many drivers as possible on hand at that current time. So, like I said, this is just more clarification just to let you know whatever you do outside of this tier market, if you are within the tier market driving, it will apply to the tier program when you come back. If you want to just aim for top dasher, you can still do that as long as you hit your 100 orders and your ratings are the ratings needed for top dasher. In the market on the outside of the tier program, you will have those top dasher status levels, those status benefits per se. So, again, it's just for the loophole. Unfortunately, if you fall below, because during this 30-day rolling day period, you're getting orders knocked off from 30 days ago every day. 30 days ago, those orders are getting knocked off. So you're having to keep a certain amount of orders on hand to make sure you stay at least in the platinum tier. My suggestion is that you sit at around 140 to 200 orders as a buffer to where you have an extra 40 to 60 orders within the 30 rolling days at all times. So that way, if you decide to not drive one day or you have an emergency or you're sick a few days or whatever it is, then those 2 or 3 or 4 days that you don't drive gets taken away from those extra buffing of orders down to 100. And you can still stay within the platinum tier. But if you're hanging around 100, 110 and you choose not to drive for 1, 2, 3 days, then you're going to bounce back. Depending on how many orders you did 30 days ago that were just dropping off every day, you go down to 90, then another day you go down to 85, and another day you go down to 70. It just all depends how many orders you did 30 days ago on that day that got dropped off will determine how many you have to make up to stay within that tier program on the platinum end. But like I said, you can continue to reap the benefits of being top dasher or the old system by going outside of the tier city or tier where the tier program's at. Like for me, it's Los Angeles, all areas of Los Angeles. So it's not even my direct area. Los Angeles is huge. And they don't have a breakdown of where the tier system is. It's just Los Angeles, period. So if you're within Los Angeles, even though we have a bunch of sub-cities and a whole bunch of markets, you're going to fall within the program. So you would kind of have to really go out considering how large Los Angeles is. So with that said, I think that's about it. Like I said, I personally called DoorDash customer service to ask them and find out and see, because I noticed that when I went to go schedule and I happened to be under 100 orders, all the schedules were taken. But my other market where I drive, it was fully open availability. And that's because when you're a top dasher, it will always be fully open from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. the next day. It will always be open. So that's when I realized, I was like, wait a minute. I know what it looks like when you're top dasher when it goes to schedule. And I normally don't even schedule when I'm top dasher because I don't have to, but I know what it looks like. And the one city that's outside of the tier still had that where you can schedule within those hours, where the Los Angeles for me, under the 100 hours into the gold or silver, there wasn't even any kind of scheduling because they were all taken already. So that's what prompted me to then call DoorDash and ask them to see exactly how that worked outside the market. So like I said, the clarification, the orders you do outside of the tier system markets, you can bring into your tier. So if you're down a few orders, or if you need that top dasher status because now you're not in the platinum program, or you can't schedule being in the silver or gold tier, then just you can go back to your other market that does not have this tier system, and you can still continue to reap those top dasher benefits, which is what I'm going to continue to do. Or like I said, hover between 150 to 200 orders at all times within this rolling 30-day period, and you should be okay. But worst case scenario, if you find yourself too close, then just go drive in the other markets that don't have the tier system, and those orders will apply when you come back to that market. So with that said, I will leave you guys at that. Your boy C-Moto. If there's anything else that I'm leaving out, or if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. I'm one that always replies back, and within enough time. I'm pretty quick at that, as most of you guys know. But if there's any other questions or concerns that you may have about this program or anything else regarding dashing, then please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if it's something that I don't have an answer to, I will definitely find out and do my best to get that answer for you and get it to you. So with that said, your boy C-Moto, once again, I will see y'all later. Peace out.